Hello and welcome back to another Marvel Snap video. My name is Michael. You can call me MOLT. And today we're going to be going over some new leaked cards coming in a future season. These are really exciting. Let's get into them. First off, we've got Phoenix Force. Phoenix Force, as of right now, is a 5/5 that reads on reveal. Revive one of your destroyed cards and merge with it. That card can move each turn. So the whole merge thing is interesting. I imagine that merging means that it's going to add the 5 power to this, almost like Hulkbuster, which is going to be interesting because obviously you would want to destroy something that has a good amount of health, maybe something along the lines of Ebony Maw, and then you Killmonger to take that out, and that's all that you Killmonger, because it does say revive one of your destroyed cards. So Killmonger would be a way for you to do that. You could also play Lizard and destroy Lizard or something along those lines. But Phoenix Force seems really, really cool and super interesting, especially since you can move the card each turn. Now, obviously, it's each turn, but you play this on turn 5, so really you can only move it on turn 6, unless, of course, you get Magic down, but you would have to play Magic on turn 5. So really, there's some potential to maybe play Wave and play a big card and then destroy that card. So you could go Wave Magneto or something, and then Carnage the Magneto, and then end up moving that once you use Phoenix Force or something along those lines. It seems really, really interesting, and I think there's a lot of potential. I don't know that it will fit within move decks, honestly, because every single card in move decks are very particular and important, and to just randomly throw in a Carnage or a Deathlock or something like that into move just seems a little bit strange. I think the move is more along the lines of just like Vision. You're allowed to move it, and that gives you a little bit of control. The next card that we've got is Echo. As of right now, it is a 1/2 that reads, after your opponent plays an ongoing card here, remove its abilities. So what people are saying this is going to be like is like a Cosmo killer in a way, to where if you're playing Wong, you could play Echo and then Wong on that location, and you wouldn't have to worry about Cosmo or anything like that being blocked. Same would say Armor or something like that. If you're playing a Destroy deck, you could play Echo, and obviously you would end up destroying it. But at that point, really, you just want to protect your cards one time from an Armor to be able to destroy, and then Echo could be fuel for your Carnage or something along those lines. I think that it seems like a really cool card. It's more of a predictionary card, I imagine, because if you play it, then obviously nobody's going to play ongoing there. So you really only have one turn to get this right and to guess, but it is a protectionary card. You can also use it to work well in discard decks with Hela if you wanted to, if you think that you're going to go up against a Cosmo or something like that. But Echo's super interesting, so definitely let me know what you guys feel about her. And then next, we've got Mirage. Mirage is a 2/2 on reveal. Copy the lowest cost card in your opponent's hand into your hand and give it +2 power. So I imagine that we'll see Mirage in some decks with like Quinjet. So if you copy the lowest cost card in your opponent's hand, not only is it going to give you intel like White Queen does, it's going to give you +2 power, which is automatically going to make your version of that card stronger. So if they play that, you can mirror it and be better by playing that. This is kind of like a Cable-esque card, but better, obviously, because it's going to give you that power. So I could see this being played in like a Quinjet, Devil Dino, Agent Coulson style deck. Seems pretty cool, and honestly seems like it will fit into a lot of decks. Just kind of like White Queen used to, where people would just play White Queen to get intel and to get big cards. So let me know how y'all feel about Mirage as well. Next, we've got Legion. Legion is currently a 5/7, which is actually an incredible stat line. It says, on reveal, replace each other location with this one. So one thing that I see this working with is playing something along the lines of Storm. So if you play Storm on turn 4 and then play Legion turn 5 on that same location, all of the other locations would be stormed. So if there were locations that were benefiting your opponent, whether that's Camartage or something along those lines, it's making things better for them, you can replace all of those locations and really mess up your opponent. Or you could play it on a location that benefits you, maybe the location that gives +3 power to other locations, and if you're winning well enough, you play Legion on that location, and you know that you've got those other locations with a lot of power that could end up helping you win. It kind of seems like a meme card, but at the same time, I think that there is a lot that you could actually do with Legion. Another thing that's interesting is obviously locations change every single game. So you can't go into it fully prepped with Legion. But honestly, now that I think about it, you could play Legion in a move deck. And if there's a location that is completely like messing you up to where you can't play cards, you could play something along the lines of Legion. But I don't know. It's definitely an interesting one, and I'd be interested to see how you guys think you might use it. So why don't you let me know, how would you use Legion? And then last, we've got Jean Grey here, ongoing. Players must play their first card here each turn if possible. Obviously, it says if possible because locations can have limitations to them, to where a location could be full or something along those lines. Now, it is kind of interesting to think. I think if possible is there as a disclaimer to if it's not possible for them to play at that location, then they play at a different location. So it's kind of like an if-then statement. So if it's possible, they play there. If it's not, then they're allowed to play at another location. Jean Grey seems pretty cool, actually, because obviously it would work well with a lot of the Galactus or the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff that people are doing right now in the Nebula season, where you play Nebula, you play other things. Jean Grey is kind of a predictory card like that, to where you play it down, you can play Groot, you can play Gamora, you can play things like that. But I think that it also will help you control a lot of different situations. So let's say that somebody plays Wong or something, and you think that they want to play Mystique, or they want to play White Tiger or something like that. If you see somebody play Wong and Mystique, and then you play Jean Grey on a different location, well, they're not going to be able to play their White Tiger, and they're definitely not going to be able to play their Odin on that location. Jean Grey will also work really, really well to counter Galactus as well, if you think about it. If you play Jean Grey on a location where they're currently trying to, I don't know, mess with you, and you can tell that they're going for Galactus because maybe they've played Wolverine and they've played Yondu, then you can play Jean Grey on that location, and you're pretty much going to counter them and say, hey, sorry, your Galactus isn't going to work anymore. And honestly, I think a card like Jean Grey could kind of remove some of the polarization of Galactus decks, because you gain it a little bit earlier. So even if somebody were to play Doc Ock and pull out your Jean Grey, well, their Galactus isn't going to work anymore. One of the frustrating things about Galactus decks is a lot of times they play Doc Ock and they pull your Juggernaut, they pull your Cosmo, they pull all of that stuff, and those are your counters to Galactus, and now you can't use them and you can't counter it. Well, with Jean Grey, if they pull Jean Grey with Doc Ock, too bad. Next turn, you're not going to be able to play that Galactus. Now, obviously, if they were to play it on a full location, that could help, but I think that this is a really good counter to those Galactus decks, because everybody always says, just bring counters, it's easy to counter, and it's like, yeah, it is extremely easy to counter, and it's extremely predictable as well. A lot of times you don't draw into your counters, or like I mentioned, Doc Ock pulls them out, and then you're completely screwed because you had your counters in hand, and you wanted to play them, but they're now not allowing you to. So with Jean Grey, they actually kind of counter themselves if they end up playing Doc Ock. Now, the next thing that I wanted to look at with you guys is some of these new variants and new card backs that have been leaked as well. We have Loki right here. Obviously, we don't know what Loki's final ability or stat line is going to be. Currently, it's a 0/0, but there are lots of different variants here. So we know that Loki is going to be coming to the game and is going to be incredible. I don't know what this card is. Martyr. I'm not even sure if I've seen that in the list before, but that one looks pretty cool. So let's go ahead and look through these, and then I want you guys to comment down below what some of your favorite variants are that we see right here, okay? So Martyr actually looks incredible. Those look so good. New Electra variant. This Ghost variant is sick. I don't really use variant. Ooh, you guys know I'm about me some Iron Fist and Human Torch. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. Absolutely incredible. This Nightcrawler is insane. That Nova looks good. Silver Samurai Beast. Wow, that Carnage looks pretty sick. Colossus looking incredible. Master Mold. I don't even have Master. Ooh, another Mysterio one. I still like the one that I have. Wait a second. This Bishop is incredible. I'm sorry, I'm skipping a lot. Master Mold looks cool. The Blob, obviously. Nothing can move this to another location. So that's obviously an incredible counter to Juggernaut and stuff like that. Whoa, that Star-Lord looks so amazing. Jean Grey right here. Yes. Another Jean Grey. Another Jug. This Groot looks hilarious. Oh my gosh, this what the? This Ghost Rider, though. Oh my goodness. Punisher looking incredible. Mr. Negative does have some sick variants, even though I don't really play the card. That's super dope. This Namor looks incredible as well. Arrow, we all know that Cozy's going to be stoked on this variant right here. Black Panther, let's go. That's a pretty cool Iron Man. I like that a lot. Legion right here. This Legion is hilarious. That one's so sick, dude. Magic looking ridiculous. What the heck? Nimrod right here. Oh my gosh, this Professor X is beautiful. This Taskmaster. What? That's insane. Oh my goodness, with these Arnhems and this Doctor Doom? Lady Deathstrike. Destroy the enemy card with the highest power at this location. Wow. That's an incredible card. Oh! A new Death variant? Yo, sick. What? Then what are these? Newly available variants. Okay. So obviously these ones are in the game currently. And then Martyr, man. I'm interested to see what Martyr is going to end up being. I just realized I totally skipped over these Gamoras. This Gamora is incredible, man. I'm going to be honest, y'all. I feel like if they switched... I feel like if they switched up their monetization a little bit and just sold, like, focused on variants and then maybe some packs and stuff, but people were able to get cards a little bit easier, I feel like they would still make just as much, if not more money. Like, some of these variants are insane. And so people would buy variant bundles and things like that to get gold in order to buy some of these things. Like, I feel like if they just kind of switched up some of the monetization to make it more focused on all these variants, because there are so many variants in the game, I feel like they would end up doing well financially. Obviously, they already are, but a lot of people complain about card acquisition and they talk about it being pay to win and all this kind of stuff. Man, I feel like it should just be pay to look cool, and a lot of people just spend money on variants, you know? But that's gonna be it for today's video, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Again, comment down below. Let me know about the new cards, how y'all are feeling about them, if you're stoked on them, and just, I don't know, what type of plans you have for them. And then why don't you comment down below as well and let me know how y'all feel about card acquisition and other ways that maybe you think they could monetize the game, because obviously they have to make money and they have to be successful. And it's an interesting take on whether or not, you know, you have people who spend a lot of money, but there's less of them, and then a lot of people who spend a little bit of money. So obviously, if you have 10 people that spend $100, that would be the same as 100 people who spend $10. And so it's like, which one do you want to go for? And I feel like if they just made it to where people would want to spend money on variants and things like that, that they would still end up making a lot of money, because I would buy a lot of these variants, like 100%. But thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.